Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the last part of the sound chapter, that is the characteristics of sound. So here we have to cover the characteristics of the sound and the factor affecting them according to the reduced syllabus. That's what we have to cover from it. So we'll study the characteristic and then we'll see the factor which affect them. So two sound can be distinguished on the basis of three characteristics. That is, first is the loudness, second is the pitch, and third is the quality. Pitch is also known as shrillness and quality is also known as timbre. So might be in the question pitch is given or shrillness name is given, so they are same. Or quality given or timbre given, so they both are also same. So all these three characteristics we have to cover in this lecture. So we can hear the sound. So can we see the sound also? So we know that sound travels in the form of wave. So we can obtain the wave pattern through which we can see the sound also. So there is a device which is known as CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope. So CRO takes the signal and converts into the wave pattern which is obtained on the screen. So here you can see three devices. There is a signal generator, there is an oscilloscope, and there is a loudspeaker. This signal generator produces the signal over a range of frequencies and of varying amplitude. This signal will be sent here in the loudspeaker and in the CRO. Okay, so signal generator will send the signal in the CRO as well as the loudspeaker. Through the loudspeaker you will hear the sound. So loudspeaker convert the signal from the signal generator into sound wave, and this CRO, it will allow us to study the frequency and the loudness of the sound. So at the same time you will hear the sound also, and at the same time you will see the sound. That means in the form of wave pattern, and then you can tell the characteristics of the sound. So the first characteristic is the loudness. Many times we say that this sound is a louder one, this is a faint one. By listening, by coming the sound coming from a source, sound coming from a loudspeaker, sound coming from a tuning fork, sound coming from a TV, we all say that sometimes the sound is loud, sometimes the sound is faint. So how we are identifying it? So we are identifying only by listening it, the sensation that is coming in our ear. Through that we are only telling that, is it? So loudness is just the sensation. It vary from person to person. It is not like loudness will be same for everyone. Might be some sound look means we will hear the sound, we don't find it loud, and some other person will find the sound as louder. Like suppose you are listening to your favorite song. So sometime when we used to listen our favorite song, what we do, we increase the volume. So for us might be that song, that sound that we are listening is not a louder one, but maybe your mother or father who is sitting over there, he will find or she will find the sound louder. So for her the sound is loud, but for you the sound is not loud. So it can vary from person to person because it is just a sensation. So it can vary from person to person. So it depends on the listener. Okay. So this loudness is not a measurable quantity. We can only observe. Means by listening only we can tell that this is a loud sound or it is a faint one, but we cannot find its value. But loudness depend on intensity. So intensity is a measurable quantity. We can measure the value of intensity and it will be same. The intensity value will be same for everyone. Loudness can differ from person to person, but intensity, because it is a measurable quantity, we can measure the value of it, so it will be same for everyone. So that is why we say that loudness is subjective in nature while intensity is objective in nature. Okay, now loudness of a sound depend on the amplitude of the wave. Okay, loudness depends on the intensity, and intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. So therefore loudness we say that depend on the amplitude of the wave. Clear? So loudness depend on the amplitude of the wave. That means more will be the amplitude of the wave, louder will be the sound. What is amplitude? Amplitude is the maximum displacement of the vibrating body from its mean position. So that is known as the amplitude. So more will be the amplitude, that means more will be the displacement of the body from its mean position, more will be the amplitude, and in that case the sound will be louder. Now this here you can see the two wave pattern. One is of quiet sound and one is of loud sound. So in it, what difference you can find? So the quiet sound, if you'll see, will have a less amplitude, and here you can see that this is a high amplitude, is it? So the larger the amplitude of the wave on the trace, the louder the sound. So like this, if I will draw this, so in this case you will see this is the amplitude, this is the maximum displacement, so amplitude. So now this, in this case, the wave pattern in this case, if you will see, the amplitude is more, that means this sound will be more louder than these two sounds. In this case, the sound of this will be more louder than these two. Why? Because the amplitude of the wave is more in this case. So as I told you, larger the amplitude, louder will be the sound. So this sound, if we'll get a wave pattern of this, so that means this sound will be louder in comparison to these two. And when we are comparing these two, so this one will be more louder than this one. So this is a quiet sound and this is a loud sound, and it depends on the amplitude of the wave. Or in simple term, more simply you can say that the bigger wave you can see, the louder sound. Like just now I have drawn a bigger wave, here I have drawn the bigger wave, so that means its amplitude will be more, sound will be louder. So loudness depend on the amplitude of the wave, because the question will be asked in the form of, like, you will be given the wave pattern, and it will be asked to identify that which of the sound is louder. So just by seeing the wave pattern you can tell that which sound is louder. You will see that in which case the bigger waves are formed, so that will be the louder sound. Clear? Now, as I told you, loudness depend on intensity. So what is intensity? So intensity of a sound wave at a point of the medium is the amount of energy passing per second normally through a unit area at that point. Like a loudspeaker, when it will send the wave, and if we draw a area, so the amount of energy passing through a unit area amount of energy passing through it per second, in 1 second, that will be the intensity. Clear? So intensity is the energy per second normally through an unit area at that point, and unit is watt per meter square. How? Because intensity is energy per unit area per unit time. Unit of energy is joule, and unit of area is meter square, unit of time is second. Joule per second is watt, so therefore the unit of intensity will be watt per meter square. Now, greater is the energy carried by a sound wave, greater is the intensity of the sound. That means when we say that the sound is loud, so in that case the energy carried by the sound wave is more. That means the intensity of the sound is more. Clear? Now the intensity of ordinary sound is nearly equal to 10 raised to the power minus 6 watt per meter square, and the minimum intensity of sound which is audible to our ear, that is 10 raised to the power minus 12 watt per meter square. So this value of intensity is audible to our ear up to this value. This is the minimum value, 10 raised to the power minus 12 watt per meter square. Now intensity depends on the amplitude. As I told you that we'll find the factor that loudness of a sound depend on amplitude. So loudness of a sound depend on the intensity, and intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. So therefore we say that the loudness depend on the amplitude. but intensity of a sound depend on the square of the amplitude. This is the relation. Intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Also, intensity depend on the square of the frequency of the vibration. It also depend on the intensity of the density of the air and the velocity of sound in air. So these are the factor on which the intensity depends. Okay. Now, as I told you that loudness we cannot measure, but intensity we can measure. So intensity is a measurable quantity. We can find the value of intensity, but we cannot find the value of loudness. So we say that intensity is objective in nature and loudness is subjective in nature. That means loudness is not a measurable quantity. We cannot measure loudness and it differ from person to person. But intensity is a measurable quantity, therefore it is objective in nature and we can measure its value, which will be same for everyone. Now, what are the factors which affect the loudness of a sound? So first, as you all know that loudness depends on amplitude and the relation is loudness is proportional to the square of the amplitude. That means if amplitude is suppose 2 centimeter, so loudness will become square of 2, that is 4. So loudness will increase 4 times. If amplitude will increase 2 times, loudness will increase 4 times. Okay. Second, loudness varies inversely as the square of the distance from the source. So you must have observed this, like a sound coming from a loudspeaker. So if you are away from that loudspeaker, you will hear less loud sound. When you will come closer to it, so you will hear the louder sound. So that means when the distance will decrease, so the loudness will increase. As you will come near the source of the sound, the loudness will increase, and as you will move away from the source of the sound, the loudness will decrease. So also the relation is loudness varies inversely as the square of the distance from the source. Third is loudness depend on the surface area of the vibrating body. This we have discussed in the case of natural forced vibration. There we have discussed the example of tuning fork, like a vibrating tuning fork when kept on a tabletop, so the vibration increased. Why? Because the tabletop has a large surface area. So loudness depend on the surface area of the vibrating body. If the area of the vibrating body is more, so the loudness will be more. Fourth is loudness depend on the density of the medium. Like it depends on the in which medium it travel, because sound require a medium to propagate. So in this case, when it is traveling in air or it is traveling in water or it is traveling in liquid, so more the density of the medium, more is the loudness. Fifth point is loudness depend on the resonant body, presence of the resonance body. So if there is a presence of a resonant body near the vibrating body, so in that case loudness will increase. So these are the 5 factors which affect the loudness of a sound. This is a very important point. Now there is a relation between the loudness and intensity. So that is not mentioned, but you should know the relation. So therefore only the relation you know and the units. Okay. So the relation is experimentally Weber and Fechner. They established a relation between loudness and intensity, and this relation is given by L is equal to K log base 10 I. So this is a relation between the loudness and intensity. Here K is the constant of proportionality. Now unit of loudness and sound level. So loudness unit is phone and the level of sound is expressed in decibel. It is expressed in Bell as well as decibel, and this name is given on the name of Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of telephone. You all know that. So on his name, this name is given Bell or decibel. The level of sound is expressed in decibel or Bell. Now there is a relation between Bell and decibel also. So 1 by 10 Bell is equal to 1 decibel, or you can say that 1 Bell is 10 decibel. That is a relation between Bell and decibel. And how we define this decibel? So 1 decibel is defined as the increase in the level of loudness when the intensity of sound increases by 26%. That means when the intensity increases by 26%, so the increase in level of the sound will say that will be 1 decibel. Clear? Now the second term is pitch, also known as shrillness. So it is that characteristic of sound by which an acute or shrill note can be distinguished from a grave or flat note of same loudness, and it depends on its frequency. So pitch of a note depend on its frequency. For example, like each musical note has a defined pitch. Like for tabla, if you will say, or for a guitar, if you will say, they have different pitch. And if the pitch is high, we say that the sound is shrill, and if the pitch is low, we say that the sound is flat. Like you must have seen in the tape recorder or the music system, there are few means buttons that is given. They are bass and treble. So bass and treble, that is written on that, and we used to change it. Sometime there will be in some music system there is a knob to change on the bass and the treble. So bass represent the low pitch and treble represent the high pitch. At bass, low pitch or grave sound will be produced, that will be by tabla or dolak, that becomes predominant, because when you are listening a sound, so in that there will be a use of different instrument, tabla, guitar, piano, everything. So when you will put the means you will increase the bass, in that case low pitch sound will be produced, that will be by tabla, dholak, that will become predominant. And when you will change it on treble, when you will increase the treble, so in that case high pitch sound will be produced, that will be by the flute or the ghungru, they will become the predominant. Okay, so pitch of a note depend on its frequency. More is the frequency, more will be the pitch. So two notes sounded on the same instrument with same amplitude will differ in pitch when their vibrations are of different frequencies. Now here again you can see the two wave pattern. One is of high pitch sound and the second is of low pitch sound. What difference you can observe? So you can see that in case of high pitch sound more waves are formed, and in case of low pitch sound less waves are formed. So this is simply, you can just by seeing that you can tell that the more waves you can see, the higher pitch or the frequency of the sound will be. Like in this case low pitch, less number of waves are present, and in case of high pitch more number of waves are present, even though the amplitude of both is same. Is it? So just simply seeing the wave pattern you can tell. If you will see more number of waves, that means its frequency will be high, that means it is a high pitch sound. And if less number of waves are present, that means its frequency is low and low pitch sound will be produced, that means it is a low pitch sound. Also you can say that the shorter the wavelength of the wave on the trace, higher the frequency of the sound. And the wavelength will be the distance between the two crest or the two trough, that will be the displacement. So here since the number of waves are more, so the waves are closer, so two crest will be, the distance between two crest will be less, that means the wavelength is shorter, so it will produce a high pitch sound. While in this case more number of waves, so in that case distance is more between the two crest or the two troughs, so in that case the sound produced will be of low pitch. Now the third characteristic is the quality or timbre. So it is that characteristic which distinguishes the two sound of the same loudness and same pitch but emitted by two different instruments because of change in their waveforms. Because every instrument has different waveform. If you obtain the waveform on the oscilloscope, so you will find out that the waveform of each of the instrument will be different. Waveform of the tuning fork, waveform of a piano, waveform of a tabla, every instrument waveform is different. So the quality of a musical sound depend on the waveform. So here you can see the waveform of a tuning fork, of a flute, of a person voice and of a violin. So what you can observe? that the waveform is completely different. It's not same for every here instrument or the person voice. They are different. Is it? Now the point is here that only a tuning fork it emits a sound of single frequency, that is monotone. So in that case the amplitude throughout is same. But rest of the instrument, they does not contain a note of single frequency. So they contain a combination of vibrations of different frequencies and different amplitudes. And in that, the vibration of lowest frequency and maximum amplitude is called a principal or fundamental vibration, because each of the waveform, if you will obtain, you will see here. So you will see that one of the vibration will have the maximum amplitude. Clear? So the maximum amplitude, the vibration of lowest frequency and maximum amplitude, it is called the principal or fundamental vibration, and the vibration of frequency integer multiples of it, they are called the subsidiary or secondary vibrations. The subsidiary, or you can say the secondary vibration, they are of small amplitude, and the resultant vibration, which is obtained by the superposition of all these vibrations, gives the waveform of the sound which we hear. Okay, so in this case, if you will see, if you compare the waveform of a tuning fork with the waveform of a flute, so what you will observe, that in case of tuning fork, the maximum amplitude is this, and in case of a flute, if you will see, the maximum amplitude is of this one. Is it? So this is the amplitude, if you will compare, they are same. Of here the maximum amplitude is this, the maximum amplitude, and in this case the maximum amplitude, if you will see, so they are same, but the waveform is different. Okay, because in case of a flute there will be a presence of principal vibration as well as subsidiary vibration, but in case of tuning fork we'll have the same kind of vibration, means all of it will have the same amplitude. But if you will compare in case of a flute or in case of a violin, so one of it you will see the maximum amplitude and other you will see of different amplitudes. Is it? So different instruments, they produce different subsidiary note, and the quality of a musical sound depend on the number of subsidiary notes present in it and the relative amplitudes present, their relative amplitude present in it, along with the principal note. Clear? So how you will find out? So we can distinguish the sound of a piano by a tuning fork or by a flute or by a violin by just checking the number of subsidiary present in it. So by knowing that, we can tell that this sound will be different from the sound of a piano is different from a sound of a flute is different from a sound of a violin. So how we can tell? We can tell by the number of subsidiary notes present in it. Clear? So this is how we can distinguish the two sound on the basis of the quality if they have the same loudness and same pitch. Clear? So this is the third characteristic of the sound. Now we have gone through all three characteristics, and through that we can tell that loudness depend on amplitude, pitch depend on frequency, and timbre or quality depend on waveform, which is a very important for you point for you to know. Clear? So this is how we have completed the chapter, and what you have to cover from this part I have already covered in this lecture, and if you have any doubt then you can ask me. Thank you.